About everything that I'm interested in rolled into one movie, and it was an attempt on our part to make a movie like 2001.
Some filmmakers follow formulas. Steven Soderbergh demolishes them. For over 3 decades, he's been cinema's restless experimenter. Heist films, biopics, pandemic thrillers, experimental narratives. From Sex, Lies, and Videotape to Ocean's 11, Contagion to The Girlfriend Experience, his work refuses categorization. Each project looks like it came from a different director. But behind every genre shift, every visual experiment, every decision to shoot on iPhone or edit under pseudonyms, there's a philosophy. Soderbergh didn't stumble into versatility. He studied it. He learned from films that treated cinema as a laboratory, that understood style as substance rather than decoration. That proved you could reinvent yourself completely between projects without losing your voice. He doesn't repeat himself. He evolves constantly. And when he lists his favorites, he's not celebrating safe classics. He's revealing his operating system. These 10 films didn't just inspire Steven Soderbergh. They gave him permission to make whatever he wanted, however he wanted, whenever the mood struck. 10. All That Jazz, 1979. Bob Fosse's autobiographical musical is a choreographer editing his life while dying.
This movie would be well served by my ability to put a lens anywhere I wanted in a matter of seconds.
Roy Scheider as Joe Gideon, chain-smoking through rehearsals, heart surgery, affairs, death as a production number.
They say the women treat you fine on Broadway.
Fosse turns self-destruction into spectacle. The editing rhythms match a failing heartbeat. What hooked Soderbergh was Fosse's formal audacity. Most musicals separate fantasy from reality. Fosse blurs them until distinction becomes impossible. Memory sequences, hallucinations, musical numbers that express interior states. The erotica sequence cuts between open heart surgery and choreography. It's brilliant and disturbing. Soderbergh's entire approach mirrors this boundary breaking. Out of sight cuts between timelines mid-conversation. The limey fractures chronology completely. He learned from Fosse that editing creates meaning. That structure can be emotional rather than logical. That audiences accept experimentation if it serves the story. All That Jazz proved that personal filmmaking could be formally radical, that confessional content demands innovative form. 9. The Third Man, 1949. Carol Reed's noir masterpiece is post-war Vienna as a moral wasteland.
This kind of movie needed a kind of physicality that a small capture device.
Orson Welles emerging from shadows. Joseph Cotten searching for truth in rubble. The zither score.
Dots you could afford to spare. Free of income tax only. Free of income tax. The only way you can save money nowadays.
Dutch angles turning every frame off balance. Reed shoots it like the world itself is corrupted. What mesmerized Soderbergh was Reed's use of architecture. Vienna's ruins become a visual metaphor. The sewers underneath mirror the moral rot above. Every angle is chosen. Every shadow was placed deliberately. Reed understood that production design tells stories before dialogue begins. The Underneath and Kafka both channel this expressionism. Soderbergh colors entire films according to emotional temperature. He absorbed Reed's lesson that visual grammar matters, that camera placement is storytelling, that noir works because the world looks wrong. The Third Man taught him that the atmosphere isn't mood lighting. Its philosophical position was made visible. 8. Wages of Fear, 1953. Henri-Georges Clouzot's suspense marathon is desperation as employment.
I look at the first 4 films and I completely separate them out from everything, that followed.
4 men hauling explosives across South American terrain. Every pothole might mean death. 2 hours of mounting tension with minimal dialogue. Yves Montagn's cocky driver slowly unraveling. Clouzot makes poverty the real villain. What obsessed Soderbergh was Clouzot's patience. American thrillers rush, Clouseau lingers. The first hour establishes the dead-end town. We understand why they'd take suicidal jobs. The truck sequences then feel earned. Each obstacle becomes unbearable because we've invested in their escape. Traffic and contagion follow this structural template. Establish systems first, then show them collapsing. Soderbergh learned from Clouseau that context is everything, that stakes require setup, that slow burns create bigger explosions. Wages of Fear proved that suspense works best when survival matters economically, not just narratively. 7. Sherlock Jr. 1924. Buster Keaton's silent comedy is a projectionist entering a merge. Keaton performs impossible stunts, the diving sequence, the motorcycle handlebars, physical comedy as surrealism. He breaks the fourth wall before anyone calls it that. What captivated Soderbergh was Keaton's formal playfulness. Sherlock Jr. is a film about film. It comments on cinema while being cinema. The transitions between projection booth and screen are seamless magic. Keaton understood movies could be self-aware without being pretentious. Schizopolis, Soderbergh's experimental comedy, takes direct inspiration. Characters speak in subtitles instead of dialogue. Fourth wall breaks. Meta-commentary on filmmaking itself. He learned from Keaton that comedy allows formal risk drama doesn't, that audiences accept strangeness when they're laughing. Sherlock Jr. proved that silent cinema was smarter than people realized, that physical comedy could be intellectual without losing its joy. 6. Citizen Kane, 1941. Orson Welles' debut revolutionized American film. The life of Charles Foster Kane is told through fragments. Deep focus photography.
Decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates just because they haven't anybody to look after their interests.
Overlapping dialogue. Ceilings visible in shots. Greg Toland's cinematography makes every frame a composition. Welles was 25 and rewrote the rulebook. What stunned Soderbergh was Welles's arrogance. Not knowing how films were supposed to be made freed him to invent. The breakfast table sequence showing a marriage decay through quick cuts. The campaign speech using real depth of field. Welles treated each scene as a problem requiring unique solutions. 5. Nashville, 1975. Robert Altman's Mosaic is 24 characters colliding in the country music capital. No central protagonist. Multiple storylines weaving through 5 days.
Scars on my insides. My love is something I can't hide. It still hurts when I...
Political rallies, recording studios, traffic accidents. Altman lets chaos organize itself. The finale brings everyone together for a concert that ends in violence. What amazed Soderbergh was Altman's structural courage. Nashville shouldn't work. Too many characters, too many plots. Yet Altman makes the sprawl feel purposeful. Each thread comments on others. The sound design layers, conversations. You hear fragments of multiple stories simultaneously. Traffic directly copies this model. 3 storylines in 3 locations. Drug czar's daughter, Mexican cop, DEA agents. Soderbergh learned from Altman that ensemble films need breathing room, that you can trust audiences to connect dots themselves, that organized chaos beats linear simplicity. Nashville proved that American cinema could be ambitious, that sprawling doesn't mean sloppy, that letting actors improvise within structure creates magic. 4. Broadcast news, 1987. James L. Brooks's media satire is network television as an emotional battlefield. Holly Hunter as the brilliant producer, William Hurt as the handsome anchor with limited substance, Albert Brooks as the talented reporter nobody wants on camera. Romance and career ambitions colliding. What impressed Soderbergh was Brooks's structural complexity. 3 characters whose professional and personal lives interweave. The film balances comedy and drama without announcing transitions. The live broadcast sequence where everything goes wrong. Hunter sweating through a satellite feed crisis. Brooks shoots it like warfare. The Informant channels this tonal ambiguity. Matt Damon's whistleblower is unreliable and sympathetic simultaneously. Soderbergh learned from Brooks that genre mixing creates sophistication, that workplace stories can be romantic comedies, that intelligence doesn't require abandoning emotion. Broadcast news taught him that ensemble films need mathematical precision, that multiple storylines require architectural planning. 3. The Conformist, 1970. Bernardo Bertolucci's political thriller is Fascism as Psychological Disorder. Jean-Louis Trintignant as Marcello, desperate to be normal in Mussolini's Italy. Vittorio Storaro's cinematography turns every frame into a painting. Shadows, light through Venetian blinds, architecture that feels totalitarian. What hypnotized Soderbergh was Storaro's visual revolution. The Conformist doesn't look like other films. Every shot is composed like Renaissance art. The color palette shifts with emotional states. The tango sequence, the forest assassination. Bertolucci and Storaro understood that political content requires political form. Soderbergh shoots his own films partially because of this influence. He wants control over the visual language, traffic's color-coded storylines, Che's newsreel aesthetic. He learned from Bertolucci that cinematography is ideology made visible, that fascism looks like rigid geometry, that freedom requires visual looseness. The Conformist proved that beauty and politics could coexist, that gorgeous imagery can carry ugly truths. 2. The Battle of Algiers, 1966. Gillo Pontecorvo's docudrama is a revolution in journalism. French paratroopers versus Algerian independence fighters, shot on location with non-professionals, handheld cameras, no score except drum cadences. It feels like newsreel footage smuggled out of conflict zones. What awed Soderbergh was Pontecorvo's formal discipline. The Battle of Algiers could be a documentary, but it's completely staged. Every crowd scene was choreographed. Every explosion was controlled. Pontecorvo created the illusion of chaos through meticulous planning. The result feels more authentic than actual footage. Contagion and Traffic both aim for this documentary texture. Multiple storylines, handheld cameras, natural lighting. Soderbergh learned from Pontecorvo that realism is a construction. That authenticity requires craft. That political films need structural rigor to avoid propaganda. The Battle of Algiers taught him that style should be invisible, that the best technique is technique you don't notice. 1. The Conversation, 1974. Francis Ford, Coppola's paranoia masterpiece, is a surveillance expert consumed by his own tools. Gene Hackman as Harry Call, recording a couple in a plaza. The conversation he captures might predict a murder, or maybe he's misinterpreting. Coppola layers sound until meaning becomes ambiguous. What makes it untouchable is Coppola's control of perspective. We only know what Harry knows. The conversation gets replayed with different emphasis each time. Meaning shifts based on which words you stress. The final scene has Harry destroying his own apartment searching for listening devices. The watcher becomes the watched. Soderbergh has built his career on this paranoid precision. Technical mastery, the moral ambiguity, the Limian side effects both feature unreliable narration. He learned from Coppola that thrillers work best when perception itself is the problem. That sound design can be as important as imagery, that audiences should question what they're seeing. Steven Soderbergh never stays still. These 10 films taught him not to. They showed him that experimentation beats repetition, that form and content should marry, that versatility requires studying everything. Which film intrigued you most? Share below, and subscribe for deeper studies of directors who refuse to make the same film twice.